Alright, you're clear.
Coming to alley right.
Delta Green, a secret organization within the United States government tasked with containing and neutralizing anomalous entities. If you're not familiar with the organization, I'd recommend doing some research on your own. If not, you'll see I've taken some creative liberties with the source material. Delta Green agents operate in two broad categories: intelligence cells for complex investigations, and mobile task forces for more kinetic operations. That leads us to our subject, Operation Clear Sky. Tim Ellis, a CIA operative and Delta Green asset, was covertly operating as part of a Green Beret operational detachment team in the Volhynia province of Ukraine. 72 hours ago, Captain Scott Mitchell, commander of the ODA team, declared Ellis as MIA with no known cause or location. Delta Green MTF Command was notified, and Mobile Task Force 43 Blue was tasked with locating and extracting Ellis and sanitizing any Delta Green related materials they find. Additional tasks: plausible deniability for all U.S. forces in the region must be maintained. The Green Berets do not have Delta Green clearance. Additionally, standard Delta Green orders apply. Gather intel, complete the task, eliminate the threat, whatever it may be. MTF 43 Blue consists of 5 team members. Chase, a well-rounded CIA covert operations officer and somewhat of a history buff. Pat, a MARSOC JTAC who suffered psychological trauma during a Delta Green related operation. Because of this, he's now highly resistant to the psychological horrors of the unknown, at the cost of most conventional social skill. Chris is a former firefighter who enlisted to become a U.S. Army Cavalry Scout. There's Smart Scouts and there's Strong Scouts. Guess which one he is. Kermie is another CIA operator and serves as the squad's designated marksman. She's a bit of a social butterfly, but she literally cannot drive a vehicle. Her choice, not mine. Lastly, there's Jimmy Drive-By, a highly capable MARSOC raider. Upon arriving in country, their first stop is Captain Mitchell's office, who seems fed up with dealing with the administrative backlash of Ellis's disappearance.
He's like, alright, do you have any leads on where he could have gone? What exit? Had he been acting erratically before he left?
Mitchell is as helpful as he can be, but he's rather short with the agents.
Anything else we should know? Anything else you can help us out here to help find this guy?
Captain Mitchell says that the cameras on post are affected by some sort of strange interference. He chalks it up to iron deposits.
But you said the iron deposits are messing with your camera? That's probably like, I don't know, radiation or some crazy kooky stuff.
The team remains pretty skeptical of this.
Alright, I pulled Chris to the side. I was like, does this idiot really think iron affects Wi-Fi? Hey Chris, I don't think we can type back and forth to each other, so I'm gonna ignore what you said, alright?
Captain Mitchell also mentions that the Volhynia province has not been affected by the greater war in Ukraine. There are Russian separatist insurgents in the area, but they've not been a considerable threat. Early on in the war, however, a Russian battalion tactical group passed through the area after suffering heavy losses. They attempted to cross the mountains, but intel cannot confirm if they've left them. They must be out there, somewhere. Captain Mitchell introduces them to Sergeant Sam Zucker, the commo chief for the Green Berets.
Hey, we're just here looking into Mr. Ellis's disappearance. If you could give us any information that might lead us to his location.
Sergeant Zucker mentions that the 2 mechanics from the Ukrainian Special Forces unit likely had the most contact with Ellis.
Do you deal with the cameras here? Can you take me to the monitoring station there later?
Yeah.
Chris and Pat, if you want to go check out the monitor, I can take Kerm and Jimmy and we can go talk to the drivers.
And then you guys want to meet up at the dude's room here and there?
Yes.
Yeah.
The team decides to split up, with Chris and Pat following Sergeant Zucker into the camera/communications room, while the rest of the team heads to the motor pool to meet the Ukrainian mechanics.
Alright, hey Sarge, real quick though, you ever heard of fucking iron deposits affecting cameras?
He chalks it up to low Ukrainian budget for security. Pat is skeptical,
Crazy, huh?
but Chris corroborates Zucker's claim.
No, I swear, it actually does affect it. And all of a sudden, like, in my last place, like, you just start seeing hentai everywhere because the iron deposit's affecting the cameras.
Chase, Kermie, and Mr. Drive-By head to the motor pool, where Kermie immediately compromises Ellis's cover.
Hey, I'm fucking talking. Hey, so we're looking for a friend here. Or you might have known where he's going. Can you tell us the last time you saw Captain Ellis? Is that his name?
You already blew his cover.
Listen, I'm going to be honest. I didn't read the op order.
Great, now all of China knows we're here.
The Ukrainians brush it off, and the team goes about their investigation.
All right, well, I don't know where to go from here.
Hey, the reporter. Sorry, I was just talking to Captain Mitchell.
Ellis's cover story was that he was a journalist reporting on the war. The two Ukrainians introduced themselves as Andrei and Vasil, a sergeant and corporal.
So, kind of, what was he doing before everything went down? Like, we're just hoping to kind of get on his trail.
They tell the team that they probably knew Ellis the best, as he often came to them requesting drives to local villages. Of all the villages, Kharkova, at the edge of the mountain, was where he went the most frequent.
What story was he working on reporting before he took off?
Andrei says he'd always mention old legends, but says he can't remember the details right now. Vasil also mentions that Ellis was a heavy drinker, and some nights he'd tell ghost stories, but insists they were real. To the agents, it's clear that Ellis was getting pretty sloppy with his OPSEC. Those ghost stories were really him telling Andrei and Vasil of his Delta Green experiences. Lucky for those two, they didn't buy it.
What were the iron levels like last time that you saw him?
Iron levels? Was he anemic?
Yes, we're very worried about his blood clotting.
In closing, Chase asks,
I ask if we can get a ride to Kharkova as soon as possible.
Andrei and Vasil oblige and say they can do it first thing tomorrow morning. Jumping back to Chris and Pat, they're now in Ellis's room interacting with PV2 Rosenbaum.
I'll approach the dude and ask what he's up to.
Greetings!
They have the following exchange.
You guys check the iron levels in the room.
Iron levels? I guess no, we didn't. He has a concerned look on his face.
Oh, lucky mistake.
Yeah, look here, soldier. I tell him he's not wearing enough PPE for possible iron infection in there. He should probably go check that out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's iron deficit's a legit thing.
Iron deficit. So is there like too much iron in the room or not enough iron in the room?
Nah,
That's what we're here to find out, killer.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
We want to ensure your safety, so you should probably go stand at the end of the hallway so you don't end up missing like Ellis.
Okay, oh my god. He runs down the hallway. Upon entering, the two agents are met with a tidy room and an overwhelming smell of bleach. Under the lone bed, Chris finds a locked duffel bag. In true detective fashion, he decides to break the lock with his bare hands.
Yeah, but he's a big, strapping young lad. You can probably
I'm
break
a big, strapping man. Let me see if I can't break it.
He's just strapped.
He succeeds. Inside, Chris finds a destroyed laptop and mostly burnt notebook, with a number of empty liquor bottles.
In a pocket.
Chris hands off the laptop to Pat, telling him to hide it. Pat promptly shoves the crumpled laptop in the front of his pants.
Laptop to Pat to hide.
With all of my zero forensics ability, I know that this is important, but I don't know what to do with it. I frantically
Okay,
shove it in my
I literally
511
have.
pants.
All right, it's been 2 minutes. I arrive on the scene.
The rest of the team enters the room to catch the tail end of this. Kermie and Chase comb the room to find a trash bag full of bloody rags soaked in bleach. Chase checks the room with a UV light. In the center of the floor, he finds blood residue. Written in human blood, it reads, Kaligari, death awakens the sleeper.
Oh goodness.
This is going to affect the trial population.
Team's never heard of anything like this. What knowledge they do have at least tells them that Kaligari is not a native Ukrainian word.
Google Kaligari, a scenario for Delta.
Do not
I know.
search it. Fuck you. The team spends the rest of the evening combing over the notebook and laptop Ellis left behind.
I'm using my forensics on that pocket to try and get some information.
They're able to get some history on Kaligari. It's a village deep into the mountains to the north. Legends say they're cannibals, others say they're possessed by demons, but there's little definitive evidence.
While they're doing that, I'm just gonna go chop down a tree.
Alright, Paul Bunyan. The next morning, the team meet with Andrei and Vasil for the drive to Kharkova. Chase is adamant that the team ditches their armored MAT-V vehicles to take soft-sided 4x4s. While the 4x4s are armed, they're significantly less protected than the MATVs. He's dead set on taking these, and eventually the team gives in.
We
I
can
start
fit.
driving
Well,
a GMC.
so okay. Well, here's the thing: is we can fit all 6 of us in a GMB.
After a 45-minute drive, Chase, Kermit, and Jimbo drive by, head into a building to meet with the local village leader. Pat and Chris stay back to watch the trucks.
I asked, is he familiar with the situation about what's his nuts at all?
When inside, the village leader says he has no information regarding Ellis's disappearance and gives his condolences. When asked about Kaligari, the leader denies he's ever heard of it. Vasil calls him out, saying that he knew Ellis talked about Kaligari with them. Pat also notices that the village consists of young children and the elderly. There's no one there that would be considered of military age. Remembering his experiences in Afghanistan, Pat relays this to the team inside and readies his M250 cal.
Okay, well, I'm gonna come over the radio and be like, hey, there's probably like we're probably gonna die here.
Hey, so that was just episode 1 of probably 3 videos covering a Delta Green session of Kaligari that I adapted for the conflict in Ukraine. As you could tell, I kind of strayed quite a bit from normal Delta Green source material and adopted a lot of shit from the SCP Foundation, so hope you guys don't mind. But yeah, let me know what you think. Leave a comment or something down below, and thank you guys for watching.